Hello everyone, this is Joel Davis with United Medical Transportation Providers Group, and I hope you watch this entire video. I took a couple of minutes here to put some quick notes together after being motivated by a great telephone conversation I just had with a great couple who I've worked with for a couple of weeks and months now, who has owned a home care agency for about 8 years, and they are expanding and diversifying into the medical transportation industry. The irony is, after about 3 to 4 years, they realized that they were losing a lot of money because they had initially invested in a home care agency franchise. So they realized that they could be making a lot more money had they started independently and building their own brand. So they actually spent even more money to go through the legal rigmarole to lose the franchise tag and go off on their own and start their own business. But several years later, it proved to be an excellent investment. They're doing exceptionally well, and a great couple. I couldn't be more happy and proud of them because they work hard and they're doing a great job. So because franchises is such a big topic, if you're thinking about starting a medical transportation or a home care agency, chances are good you may be solicited to invest in a franchise. But I can assure you, statistics bear out that you do not need to invest the tens and tens of thousands of dollars into a franchise when it comes to building a service-based business like this. So a couple of quick points I want to point out. Now, I know I've talked about franchises before in some of my newsletters, but it's always worth repeating and bearing the same information. So franchises can't guarantee you revenue and statistics. I don't care what franchise it is. Now let me back up. I love franchise business models when it comes to restaurants, retail stores, because you always know what you're going to get. But when it comes to medical transportation or home care, it's been my experience in working with other providers that, number one, you can make more money on your own. Number two, you're going to have more freedom and flexibility. And number three, again, this important point, franchises cannot guarantee you money. And here's what they do. A lot of franchises will specifically say, we're going to guarantee you X number of contracts, X number of customers, X number of volume. What they base that on predominantly is Medicaid. Now, I can assure you, before Obamacare, Medicaid varied significantly in every state. And I can promise you that with Obamacare, Medicaid varies even more. There's even more significant rules and regulations that vary between states and counties and regions and districts. So any guarantees that they make you are absolutely preposterous. And even if they do guarantee you volume, that doesn't mean they're going to guarantee you profit, the most important thing. So don't buy into the claims of what they can guarantee you, because it varies significantly. Another important point. The franchise fees that you invest up front do not go towards vehicle acquisition. Now, if you're starting a medical transportation company, outside your personnel, one of the most important and obvious investments is your acquisition of assets, your vehicles predominantly. So if you put $80,000, $100,000 into a medical transportation franchise, understand that money is not going towards vehicles. Another important point. If you invest in a franchise, like any franchise, you're going to have to abide by their rules and regulations. So that really contradicts your philosophy of going out, starting your own, building your own brand, your own rules, your own regulations. Definitely, a lot of these franchises, some are more flexible than others. Some cost less. Some don't charge as much each week, each month, their franchise fees. So you're not going to be pickpocketed as much. It varies. But again, if you're invested into a franchise, understand you're going to be pickpocketed, and it can definitely limit your ability to make decisions. Another important point, and this is an important one because I've seen it several times, a franchise can actually reduce your resale value. Now, as I always tell everyone, before you start your business, you need to know how you're going to get out of your business. Define your exit strategy before you even enter the door. Why? Because at some point in time, you're getting out of the business. Now, it's going to be on your terms or someone else's. So you either pass away and you're out of the business, you sell the business, or you pass it on to heirs. Or if you mismanage it, maybe you're going to go bankrupt. But regardless, the goal is to make money and transition out of your business in a very profitable manner, and one that's most convenient for you. Now, a lot of times when I'm representing entrepreneurs and business owners who are purchasing a medical transportation company. There's been several occasions where they're purchasing a franchise. In fact, many franchises have contacted me over the years and asked if I'd buy them out. Well, I'm not going to do that. But regardless, one of the first things I look at, if you're a franchise, I want to know how you stack up with other franchisees in your franchise organization. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the franchise organization and I want to see your national statistics. I want to see your state statistics. I want to see how this franchisee who's selling his business, how does this organization stack up with all the other franchises in this organization? And I can promise you, if this franchise organization is underperforming, I'm going after it like an attack dog to drive down the price. Because clearly you're underperforming to other franchises within your organization. So now let's compare that to if you have your own business and you're trying to sell your own business. There's really nothing to compare it to other than your own success, which it really gives you a great leg up in terms of leverage and ability. So having a franchise, sometimes it can help you, but when it comes to medical transportation, home care, it could definitely hurt you, because if that service-based business is underperforming, someone like me, I'm representing a buyer, I'm going after it like an attack dog to drive down the price to get the best buying price for my buyer. Again, here's my biggest thing with franchises. Number one, you're gonna invest a lot of money, and it's not going to go towards any type of acquisition. You're always going to be pickpocketed, and ultimately it limits your ability to empower yourself. My goal with all of my information and all the training I provide is to empower you. Empower yourself to make your own business decisions, operating off a controlled growth strategy. I promise you, you don't need to take $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 to invest in a home care agency, to invest into a medical transportation business. And here's why. Once you get past the initial stages, there's no physical product. There's no repeat training that you need to invest in. If you invest in a restaurant, well, you're always going to get product and supplies from the franchise organization. But when it comes to medical transportation and home care, you don't have that. So after your business is up and running, it's what you do, what you build, what you create, what you sustain within your local community, within your local area. So after you get past the training stages, the first 1 to 2 years, you're going to realize you don't need to be part of a franchise organization. And then you're going to ask yourself, why am I continuously kicking out 5%, 7% to a franchise organization that realistically provides no more added value to me? I'm not buying product from them. I'm not getting supplies. I'm not getting any type of inventory from them anymore. So what is the purpose of it? So I don't want you to find yourself in the situation like the couple I've been working with for the last couple of weeks, where after 3 or 4 years, they're realizing, man, we're actually losing a lot of money here. We're paying out all these franchise fees, and what are we getting in return? We're not getting any product. We're not getting any retail value. We're not getting any inventory. Where's the brand recognition? How is it building us up? Is it adding to our bottom line or detracting? So, again, focus on controlled growth, empower yourself, and I promise you, you could be a success on your own and make more money. And I promise you, statistics will bear out that your profit margin will be significantly higher if you build your own business and you don't go on paying franchise fees. So I hope that this video has blessed you. Again, continue to check out some of my other newsletters. I know I've talked about franchises before, but check out the newsletters and study the resources and materials. Thank you so much. I'll see you at the top.